dumbass do? Texts her a picture of his junk, holding it, his leg, and he's wearing fugly Crocs. Once. But maybe this picture of my dick will get her to answer me back.
Well, I'm Brett Favre.
Him asking, is anybody going to know that I was paid?
Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome to Born Brazen. We're your hosts, Holly and Jules. And if you've never been here, we keep it real with unfiltered opinions on documentaries, life, and everything in between. No scripts, no sugarcoating, just raw conversation and honest takes. If you've been here before, welcome back. We're so excited that you're here. Now let's get into today's episode. Hey everyone, we are getting into part 2 of Brett Favre documentary that has come out on Tuesday. We went through part 1 of the documentary, so if you have not watched that or listened, you probably want to go back on Spotify or YouTube and watch that, or else you may be slightly confused as to what's going on. So last time we talked about, it was really just building up what was going on. So we learned the extensive history that Brett Favre had as far as high school and then going to college, where he played at
Mississippi.
There we are. And then he went into pro football. And he played at Atlanta. Then he went over to the Green Bay Packers. Yep.
Where he had his extensive career.
Yes.
The majority.
And then he went into retirement, but then he came out of retirement and went.
Well, he said he was retiring. I don't know that he actually did.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe he did. I guess in his head he did.
Yeah.
But twice he was like, yeah, no, I'm done. I'm never playing again. And then all of a sudden he's putting on a new jersey.
So, I guess you can make those kind of decisions when you're making buku amount of money. So it ended up leaving off. We left off with Jen, and she received text messages because he tried to message her on MySpace. That did not work. So then he started to text her, making advances at her. So that's where we're going to pick up, is from there. So after he texted her and she did not respond because she kind of thought it was like, this can't be happening.
Yeah, well, and I think at the beginning, she didn't know exactly who it was either.
Right.
Because someone like us, I think, reading it, obviously, we already know what the show's about. So us reading it, like, duh, it was Brett. But
right.
To her, the way the messages were typed out, it literally could have been anybody, I guess. I mean, yeah. You know, because basically, like, the first one was like, I'm new, I have gray hair, and I saw you in the tunnel. I mean, if you're talking players, it's obvious that it's her.
Right.
But for someone like her, I guess her brain at the beginning was like, it could have been anybody, because it could have been front staff people. You know, It could have been anybody that works with the organization. But
well, and you think like all the people that, referees and all of that are included, they probably all have gray hair.
Yeah.
So,
but man, just what I want to say is the second half of this show was like very eye-opening and very much changed how I felt the first half.
Yes. Yeah. Originally, and we'll get into it later, but we originally thought Jen she had to have played a part in it because
maybe she had to have done something to make him feel like, him to reach out to her and wanting to meet with her and all the things that he was trying to do.
Yeah. And we thought maybe once they said, hey, you want to give, what if I told you Brett Favre wanted your number? And she was like, I thought she was just saving face. Like, no, I appreciate, I like my job and I look like his wife. And I'm like, but totally not the case. And you'll find out why. So she got a voicemail from Brett. She said that she knew exactly who it was when she heard it. Yeah, she's like, that's Brett. And one of her friends, I believe, he asked, like, well, how did he get your number? And
it was her. It was the guy who was helping her. So he worked with her at the Jets. The guy that was working with her as the little backup. He called himself a bodyguard, but
yeah,
he said that was a little liberal, like, word to use. He wasn't really a bodyguard, but he's the one, I believe, after the fact, when she left the Jets, she hadn't left the Jets yet, but that was the person, I believe, who had originally asked her how'd he get your number?
Yes. And so come to find out, there was an employee that gave him her number.
Somebody from the front office or something, because he said, he originally said, if somebody from the front office is going, I'm going to have them get your number for me, or they're going to slip you mine.
Yes. So if we just back up a minute, I can't say legality of it, but like the morals of it, to just give somebody's number out without asking permission is insane.
Yeah.
Like, at what point in time did that lady go, this is probably not right? However, who was asking?
Yeah.
Brett Favre.
It all kind of comes down to the whole topic of this show, that people like Brett Favre, no matter what they do, he'll still walk into that stadium today and everyone would cheer for him.
Right. Yeah.
So he asks, like, hey, that girl is hot. Can I have her number? Will you give it to me?
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, sure. Here's her number.
Let's go. Let's just do it.
Yeah. Have fun. I know you have a wife who's suffering from cancer, but
well, and he probably put it out as like, oh, I just have something to talk to her about, or, I'm sure he didn't go and be like, hey, I want to sex this girl. He probably had a valid reason for it. At least
he probably had some kind of excuse.
Yeah.
If I had to guess. Yeah.
So then it comes out, this is where, actually, I'm just going to let Julie tell this part, because she has mentioned this particular item of clothing. And yeah, so I'm going to...
It was a whole internet thing that everyone made fun of, because what's crazy is he's asking, come over, come to my hotel, meet me after the game tonight. And she's not even responding to these messages.
Right.
There's no text replies back. She's completely ignoring him. And what does the dumbass do? Texts her a picture of his junk, and all you can see is him holding it, his leg, and he's wearing fugly Crocs.
Like, was that supposed to be sexy?
Like, who does that?
Yeah. First of all, I don't know about you guys, so please put in the comments how you feel. I hate Crocs. I think they're absolutely ugly.
I don't mind them. They have a time and place. I don't own any. My kids enjoy them because they're easy on and off. My kids enjoy them because they can wear them at the beach and you can wear them in the water. They have a time and place. I do not wear them. I don't have any. Maybe back in the day I had a pair that I would garden in. That's really about it, because I can get them dirty and you can clean them off.
Yeah.
They have a niche little, they're nice that if they get dirty, you can wash them, but they're not pretty. I mean, they make some pretty sandals now. So, I do have some Crocs that are sandals, but they don't scream Crocs to me, because the whole story behind Crocs is crazy. So if you don't know the story behind Crocs, look it up, Google it. There's a story there and a movie. But they just don't appeal to me in an everyday fashion.
So you know what that makes me think of, actually? Have you ever seen Deadpool?
Yeah.
Okay. So the part on Deadpool where he comes home to the old lady's house, I can't remember her name, and he grabs his unicorn and he puts his Crocs on and he's like, you might want to go. You might just want to go, because it portrays that he's getting ready to do the thing with his hand. That's what it reminds me of. Squeaky little Crocs going over, and
well, then we need to look into that, because I want to know if that was a making fun of him to put the Crocs on, because it very well could have been. We need to investigate that,
because Deadpool does all that stuff.
It was just a whole thing when the allegation and everything came out in, do we have a year when because we're about to get into how this came out, but when it did come out, it was just a huge funny to the story. Like, not only did Brett do this, but the photo was goofy as shit.
Yeah. You couldn't have picked better attire.
Yeah.
It almost been better if he just had no socks on, no shoes, no socks, just bare feet.
Yes. But then I don't know what your toes look like.
Well, and that would have made sense. My question is, where was he at, and why was he having Crocs on? Like, it wasn't like he was getting in the shower, he was getting out of the shower. He was just like, I'm going to show my penis.
Yeah.
My Crocs.
Yeah. Could have just whip it out right here, right now, take a picture of it and send it to Jen. I haven't heard from her once, but maybe this picture of my dick will get her to answer me back.
Well, I'm Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see my penis.
Yeah. No.
She didn't.
No.
She didn't. So, so at that point in time, maybe before, but at that point in time is when she started complaining.
Yeah, she just, you could, her partner, friend was very, he was seeing it. He was seeing changes in her, of her.
She wasn't the same.
Not feeling it, not feeling the game like she used to, like she did at the beginning of the season, he said.
Yeah.
And she would kind of look for people that she could tell, like, that this happened.
Right.
But.
Yeah, so because you're thinking, like, at this point in time, he has messaged her, he has emailed her, he has texted her.
He has
left her. Now called her on the voicemail multiple times, I believe. And so this is like borderline stalking.
Yes.
Like, this is an issue. So she complains about it. And of course, nobody listens to her.
Yeah, she's getting very frustrated because everyone's like, yeah, we'll look into it. And she's just like, yeah, okay. I bet you will.
Yeah. And so, soapbox a little bit. Apparently, that is not people have complained not only about Brett, but like other areas in the sports. And, they just brush it off. Why? Because that's their star player. Like, if this came out, he could... he's not going to be looked at as much. He's not going to. And so, that's like a big, like, oh, I don't want to bring this up. And who does that end up hurting? The victim. So just super frustrating. So then she starts on a new show. And that show lasted, was it 25 episodes? No.
I'm not sure how long it was out, but whatever season they were currently in at the time, she said they only made it, because we'll come back to how the story was leaked, but once the story came out and, what do you know, Deadspin, after it came out, she said that they only lasted 25 days.
25 days, that's what it was.
Anything, and then her show was just, it was
and they would not renew her contract.
Yeah. Prior to the new show, she was with the Jets. The Jets did not renew her contract, so that was how she first was. Of course, they didn't renew my contract. So then, moving forward, she was trying to figure out what to do. So she spent a little time in LA, trying to regroup, figure out what she wanted to do, and then ended up coming across this new show. And that's kind of how, because this was 3 years later, I believe it was 3. That is how we get to now the story coming out.
Yes.
She was at this new job. She had met the guy from Deadspin.
Yes.
Contacted her again, and she said,
AJ Delario.
Yeah, she said, I never met him.
Total douchebag.
Yeah, she was like, I never actually met him. We talked, like, I guess on the phone, through emails. Stuff like that. she made it very clear that the conversation that they were having was off the record, because at the time she was involved with them because she was writing something else.
Yeah, so she
wrote a goodbye letter to the Jets.
Yes.
That's how they came into play again. Did that good old Deadspin. They went to her and she was writing basically her goodbye to the Jets, saying how she was leaving the Jets and going somewhere else. So she had made this contact at Deadspin.
Which thoughtful, because I would have been like,
yeah, I would.
That's my goodbye.
Yeah, the way they treated her, not doing anything about what was going on, and then just choosing to let her go and choosing to just brush it all under the rug was complete bullshit. So, so she did do that, wrote the letter. I did not read it. But she's now talking to this guy at Deadspin and they're having conversation, and randomly she decides that she's going to let something slip on accident, but she had made it very clear to him that this is where I'll tell you my issue with this. But she specifically had a conversation with him and said, this is off the record and I don't want any of this coming out. Well,
because it was not only going to, I'm sure what she thought, like potentially ruin his life, it was going to ruin hers as well.
Yes, because at this point, she had not told anybody. She had just lived her life. She was just, I mean, I guess in her eyes, I probably would feel the same way as far as like, I probably would think all those things. At this point, no one's ever going to touch him. At this point, he physically never touched me. There was no rape involved.
Right.
She never reached out to him. So it was all one-sided with him just reaching out to her, and her just doing absolutely nothing except telling people about it.
Yeah. And so, he even mentioned, like, I've never shook his hand. I've never met him in person. They
were never in the same room together.
They were never in the same room together. So it was literally maybe to a point hearsay of like, yeah, you're telling me this. And I'm sure she had, concrete evidence. But to them, they were probably like, well, you can't prove that he was the one texting. It may have came from his phone, but you can't prove that. Like the messages, you can't, I'm sure is what it would turn out to be.
Yeah. So she had chosen and was okay at this point with kind of letting it go. I think she had probably told herself that she was just going to let it go and she was just going to continue living her life. But she said enough to this reporter that
he was like, I'm gonna do the story.
Yeah, he basically went to her and said, I'm writing the story and it's airing tomorrow. And he had all of the things that she claims that she never sent any of this stuff to him. And he claims that there was a third party involved, and he claims that he paid a third party. So I don't know all the details around how he got what he got. She claims that her emails were hacked, and that's how somebody got all of this information. But when it was leaked and it was a doozy because it was everything, because they leaked it with facts to prove.
Yes.
Like they leaked it with copies of the text messages, copies of the messages, copies of the emails, the voicemails. They knew everything that happened, like when this was released. So as you can guess, it happened like she thought it was going to happen. And 25 days later, her show was ruined. And she pretty much lost her reputation of
her career,
because what everyone was saying was at this point, no one's going to want to hire her because they don't want the drama. They don't want what comes with that. They don't want all of that stuff. And it's a shame because that's the way that this show ended, with that being the huge topic of conversation, that it turns into the victim continuously being the victim and nothing ever coming of it from him, and it not turning around in her favor. Like the whole world still loves Brett Favre.
Yeah. Well, and then it also came out that two other women, he has done this to two other women.
Massage therapists in the office.
Text, hey,
He texted them.
Yeah.
I'm alone.
Let's do a massage. This, that, another. And
I'm feeling naughty. Or they had the one text and he was like, I guess I'm just feeling like getting up to no good. Like whatever words it was, but that was the gist. And I'm like, call your wife, man. Call your wife. You have a wife.
Right.
So I did feel bad for her. Should maybe add a little bit. There was some interviews with her, but oddball. They were like, "What are you do? How are you handling this?" And she's like, "I'm leaning into my faith."
The wife.
But that was it. Like, there was no other conversation about or with the wife. I mean, obviously she wasn't interviewed. She didn't come forward for this show, but that was literally all the show could find.
Yeah. And she stood by him. Like, so these other two girls that he sent text to, as soon as they complained, they were fired.
100%.
Obviously. So with all that, like you said, like, I'm leaning into my faith with this. She was by him every step of the way. And
through all of the things that he was now attempting to do, because this was in between his last little bit of playing football, because
he
decided to retire again
in 2009, but then went to the Vikings.
Yeah. Shows him in an interview saying, "I will absolutely not be on a football field again." And then cut to, he's putting on a Vikings jersey.
And Packers were pissed. They were burning his jersey. They were making signs. Like, it was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Not normal in the football world, if you want my opinion.
Okay.
People do that when...
Didn't know that.
I've seen it in hockey.
All right.
Lindros.
Throwing shade. So, his wife is with him by his side, which, I mean, good wife, right? Like,
gotta be really hard for her to deal with all of it, because you got to take the celebrity out of it for part of it.
That is,
and be like, are you willing to
stand by your husband?
Stand by your man, essentially. And so, I imagine in her shoes, it's probably a little bit easier knowing that nothing came of it with her or the two massage therapists.
Yeah.
But we don't know if there was anyone else that physical cheating actually occurred, or if there was others that he was emotionally cheating with, talking to.
And we also, so what we see is on camera, and through this, we also don't know how their home life was, right? Yes. So it could be one of those situations where your home life is a total shit show, but on camera, everything is glorious and everything's great. So it could have been one of those situations too. We just don't know. Mm-hmm. And also, to get back to our first episode, she is still with us, assuming she's in remission.
Yeah. So there's not a whole lot of talk about her, other than us just knowing that they were still together, and that was it. Like, nothing on her health or anything like that. Yeah. So she stayed with him. That's pretty much all we know. And then the little clip from the interview of her saying, "I'm just sticking to my faith." I mean, there was nothing. She never put herself out there to. Yeah.
Which she's Southern. Not to say Northern, but, Southern, we're like, bless your heart, all that stuff. So anyways, so then it pans back to Michael Vick. And he's making a justifiable statement of, like, if you're high up in certain places, things don't happen to you. You can do what you want.
I think it was saying a lot now, looking back, to have Vic in this interview, because I 100% am okay with him currently because of things we touched on last time, because there's a huge difference in my eyes with the Vic situation and the Brett Favre situation, because we haven't even gotten into the other scandal yet. And I feel like Vic did his time.
Yeah.
Vic actually came out, and like there was, like he like made apologies. He went to court. Mm-hmm. He went to jail. He did whatever he did, paid fines, and then came back to the real world and just minds his P's and Q's, I feel like. If I'm missing anything, please tell me that I'm wrong. But in the situation with Favre, we haven't even gotten into the next scandal, and he is adamant that he did nothing wrong, that he didn't know any of this stuff was going on. He's never paid back any money. He's never been to jail. So I don't feel that they're the same.
No, 100%. Not the same. Not the same.
Because there was a conversation with the wife about, just like I randomly thought about it, and I was like, there was another conversation with the wife and about the situation. We might need to go back and look it up.
We'll keep you posted.
I'll come back. World.
Always. So we are past now the female scandal, I guess you would say, texting scandal. I don't know how you would name that, but now we're going to move into so now he is officially out of football. He's officially retired from being a football player. And then, so we're moving into his next scandal. Hey everyone, Holly here. If you are looking for a one-stop shop for custom items through Shopify, podcast, or website design, let Linktree do the work for you. Go to Linktree/bornbrazen to ease your day. Again, that's Linktree/bornbrazen, BORNBRAZEN. You won't be disappointed. Which is the welfare scandal. So this happens in 2020. And so his whole purpose in this welfare was to create a wellness center for underprivileged,
just
in Mississippi.
In Mississippi, because Mississippi, at the college where he played.
Yes.
And his daughter, I guess, played one season or something of volleyball there.
Yes. So he's starting this welfare center, and as he's getting all of these $8 million
people to back him and things like this,
of sponsorships and donations and things of that nature, instead of putting that into the wellness center, he is putting that into building a building and building everything up for this volleyball team in Mississippi.
But they were calling it the wellness center, and that's how they partially were trying to get around it.
Yes, because he got $1 million in TANF. That he just...
Well, yeah, they gave him $1 million, and it came from the TANF fund.
Correct.
And then a couple other million went to the project itself, and then the $1 million went to him.
Yes. Yeah. So, and they were made out to him like it wasn't, this is... So funny enough, in my work, we have to go through compliance training, and we have to talk about, gifts and things like that. And like donation should never be made out to the person. It really shouldn't be made out to the company. It should, go through a different way and everything. So big red flags when they're, again, not victim blaming, but because he was so trusted, these people writing him checks were like, oh yeah, Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Like, instead of following the proper channels, a testament to where he was so respected and so out there, and that they were just like, yeah, I'll write it to Brett Favre. Like, that's a no-no. Like, you never do that. You always write it to the foundation, or what have you. So yes. And so while he's also doing all of this wellness center, he's also in with this drug company.
Yes, there was a thing for concussions.
Yes. So for CTE, they were trying to develop a drug that went into your...
It was like nose and mouth at the same time.
Yeah, nose and mouth that you're supposed to sniff, and it's supposed to help with CTE. Which CTE is in football from hitting a lot of concussions, which has actually caused people to murder, to, become mental health issues. There are so many things that have been related to CTE. So the fact that that was a thing that they were researching is a wonderful thing. Because football players have concussions all the time. And the sad part about it is they're never treated appropriately.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, oh, you're good. Get back on the field. When all that hit to your brain is just unwell. It's just unwell. So, really, really great that they were trying to make that, but obviously never came to. So this started this in 2020. This scandal went all the way through like 2024.
Up until the time that this was recorded, I mean, there was still some stuff going on, but
yeah,
nothing ever came of it, unfortunately.
Yeah. So they interview him about these charges, about these accusations. And
because now it's civil.
Yes, now it's civil.
He's had some stuff occur, but now it's civil suits.
Yes. And so, of course, he denies everything. I didn't do it.
But there's text messages of him asking, is anybody going to know that I was paid?
Yeah. And Nancy knew. Not like she knew, but like that's her name. Nancy knew, which was kind of funny in there.
Nancy knew.
Nancy knew. And I was like, she do. She do. So she texts between them of like, hey, is anybody going to find this out? And she's like, oh, no, it'll be fine. But I understand your concern. It's like, no, bitch, you should too be concerned. It's not just a him thing. It's an everybody thing.
Yeah.
So, I feel like, and they said at the end, like some people have been prosecuted. So I would be curious to know if she's one of the people.
Yeah. It said a few were, but none of them have spent any time in jail.
No, not at all. So in this denying it, he then blamed the state for not doing their due diligence and finding out where these funds have gone. This kind of comes back to like the rape situation. Like, she shouldn't be wearing that because it's her fault.
Yeah.
That she's wearing that. It's like, well, it's their fault. They didn't look into it.
Yeah.
I mean,
they let it happen.
I mean, who am I to be?
Yeah, I'm Brett Favre.
Who am I to be blamed for this when they were the ones that should have been looking? No. It doesn't matter that I was like, I got checks written out to me, right? Like, you still should have looked into that.
Yeah.
The balls of this man to be like, it's the state's fault. And then, as if it wasn't worse, he had to throw in, he's got Parkinson's.
Yes, he found out in 2024 that he was diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Yes.
I would like to know how true that is, or if he's just using it for sympathy.
That's true.
We haven't looked into that. I mean, they just said it in this that he was diagnosed with it, but I would like to see how true that is.
Well, and I think if he was diagnosed, from what I could see, it's very, very early stages, because in Parkinson's, I do know somebody who has Parkinson's, and they shake really, really bad, like head shakes, hard time walking, the whole body just, they can't function properly. So I didn't see any of that in the interview, or in where he was speaking to the state or what have you. So maybe not exactly. If he did, it was probably very early onset of it. So yeah. So I see Julia is looking up if it's true or not.
It's just the same. All I'm seeing is that, in January of 2024, he publicly disclosed that he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's during that congressional hearing, but there's nothing here to say.
He's doctor diagnosed him.
Yeah, I mean.
So, and then the episode ends with, 7 people have been prosecuted, but they have not gone to jail. He still denies it. He has never had any criminal charges filed on him. Yeah, he's just living his best life. So it's really frustrating, because at the end of the day, he went through these scandals with the girls. His wife was going through chemo. He never told his wife that he was sending the text message. And he didn't deny it.
Yeah, that was my Tiffany earlier, my squirrel brain. There was one other little teeny clip, I believe, where we heard somebody say that, like in reference to his wife, like that he never really, I mean, we don't know what happens in their own home. So, but according to public opinion, he really wouldn't admit it, but he wouldn't deny it either to his wife.
Yeah.
That he had sent those, like the dick pic, for example.
Which, guilty. I mean, guilty.
Yeah.
So through that scandal, through the welfare scandal, through all of these things, he has never done any sort of time. His career has never suffered. His marriage that we know of has not suffered. It's as compared to Manti Te'o on that one, where, he went out in public and everybody was whispering about him. Like, Brett never went through that. He never went through, they even said if he came back to the Packers and stepped back on the field, they would be overjoyed for him to be there. Meanwhile, this Jen, her whole life is ruined. And she didn't even do anything. She did absolutely nothing. All she was a receiver of a really perverted guy. And didn't respond back, like had nothing to do with it. But yet her life is ruined. And so, yeah, that's my soapbox on that. It's really, really pisses me off that those kind of things happen, and just kind of goes to show you that where you're at in the world, if you're in a high place, you're immune to things. And I would say it's for a selfish reason, because somebody else's pockets are being filled enough to where what you do is swept under the rug. Money is really the root of all evil.
Yeah, it's disgusting that Jen, all she wanted to do was like make a career for herself. And she's essentially screwed now because nobody wants to hire her. I mean, I don't know what she's doing nowadays, but.
And she complained and nobody listened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how to not feel comfortable ever in the workplace again.
Yeah.
Knowing that you can't, that feeling that I can't go to my higher up and say, I'm being harassed by someone else who works here. And they're like, oh, yeah.
And so that happens in a lot of workplaces too. Like, that's
awful.
It's awful. Yeah. It's absolutely awful. So yeah, and he's going to die, and nobody's going to remember this. They're all going to remember,
there's
the great
good times.
The great Brett Favre and how wonderful he is. So that's it, y'all. That's the end of it. Sad story for most. Not for him.
No.
He's living his best life.
Yeah.
So,
well, not now. I mean, he's got Parkinson's, so
karma.
Yeah, I feel like that's karma.
Try to whip your dick out now.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we won't get into that. But I had
put on your purple Crocs.
Yeah. Yeah, with your shaky hands. So that is the end of that. We hope you enjoyed. Coming up next on next week's episode, we're going to go dive into the crash.
It's the end thing right now. Everyone's talking about
It's
it.
trending. And so we're going to jump in on it and give you our opinions, because our opinions matter to somebody.
Yeah.
Somewhere. And if they don't tell me. Just let me believe that they matter. I live in a world of matter.
Everyone matters.
Yes, everyone matters. So if you're listening on Spotify, I'm going to bug you guys to death until you do it. If you're listening on Spotify, comment, like, follow, share. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, follow, share, the whole 9 yards. And until we see you next time, as always, stay positive and stay brazen.